Hey guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lou. Coming to you live from Accelerate Life University, XLR8Life.com. Coach Lou will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the motivation, the energy, the life, and all the success you really want and deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lou.
Welcome back to Breakthrough with Lou. Guys, it is Monday morning, wake up call right here. What you think? You ready to go? You ready to take this week by storm? Because this is the best day ever? Yeah, I'm thinking so. Well, and you might be going, what are you talking about? I don't know if you all have ever attended a David Wolf seminar or heard any of his work, but he always tell you, you have the best day ever. And initially, I thought maybe that sounded a little, hokey of, have the best day ever, just kind of like a greeting or a rah-rah type of thing. But then over time, I've really delved into that idea, and it's like, today's the best day ever. And you might say, well, what do you exactly mean by that, Coach? What is the best day ever? The best day ever is today because you woke up. Today is the youngest you're ever going to be again. Feel that, hear that, feel that, know that. Today is the youngest you're ever going to be again. And you're like, what? Yeah, yesterday was the youngest you ever were up until today. You're never going to be this young again, kids. Never going to be this young again as you are today. Tomorrow, you're going to be one day older. Next month, you're going to be a month older. Next year, you're going to be a year older. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is natural. That is, we age chronologically, naturally. The challenge is how many times you go, God, I wish I had done that yesterday. I wish I had gotten that done yesterday. I wish I had taken advantage of that. I wish I had done that. Then a month goes by, a year goes by, and guess what goes by? A lifetime. A lifetime of regrets if you don't watch it. So each day, yes, is the youngest you're ever going to be, and make it the best day ever. What if each day was just a little better than the day before? How would that play out in a week? How would that play out in a month? How would that play out in a year, 5 years? Can you imagine if you just made something better each and every day? What if you're learning a language, for instance, and you just got a little better of it each day, and you get up and go, well, today's not my best day ever learning Spanish because I did a 30-minute lesson and, I still am stumbling and fumbling. But what if you made it better each and every day for 1 year? Do you think you'd be fluent in that second language? Me right now, it's Spanish. I'm really trying to tune that up. I speak a little. As you noticed. But what if you made it just a little bit better because each day was the best day ever? When's the best time day to take a Spanish lesson? Today. When's the best time to take a guitar lesson? Today. When's the best day to sign up for a race? Today. Okay, you see what I'm talking about here? It's not about the woo-wah of, let's have the best day ever, yay, hoo-hoo. And you go, okay, yeah, that felt good for 10 seconds. I'm talking best day ever because number one, you have a chance to be here today. You're alive. Many folks didn't wake up this morning. Okay, there are many people that didn't wake up. Now, you may say, hey, I know where I'm going. I'm going to heaven, or however you call, where are you going? And you might be like, this is going to be great. It's going to be even better than here. Here is so hard. It's so tough. But still, why would you not want to live to the fullest potential, the fullest enjoyment, and enjoy your life here, now, today? Why? Why are you waiting to go to heaven or waiting to retire? Oh my God, that's the worst. Oh Lord, I was at an event this weekend, and the one thing, there are a lot of older people there. And one of the things that I noticed about people is, the ones that were retired, the ones that were truly retired are hunched over, broken down, miserable, because they've left their best days behind them. Okay, they don't wake up and go, it's my best day ever. Because my best day, I'm the youngest I'm going to be. They wake up and go, one time I was this. Okay. But the point was the people that I came across that were retired were broken down and miserable. The people that I came across that told me, I retired from my job and man, I do this as a business, or I do that as a business now, or this is what we're working on, or I've started a charity, or they're alive. Same age, same chronological. Yeah, it's real good English there, Coach. Chronological age. Same chronological. I like that word. Maybe we'll create it. Same chronological age. Two totally different emotional, mental, and in most cases, physical ages. Those who stay active not only physically, but emotionally, intimately, mentally, and especially physically. Your physical is what's going to give you a lot of the rest of it. But so when's the best day ever to join the gym? Today. And you might go, well, I'm not one of those gym guys or not one of those gym girls. I just don't like, well, pick a gym that's not set up that way. You know, some gyms are set up to be the coolest, hippest new place where everybody's dolled up and, you know, kind of dancing as they do their workouts. And that's cool if that's what you like. Some places are iron core gyms where the guys have arms this big and the girls have butts that, you know, you could set a beer on and, you know, they're so solid and maybe that's not your thing either. Maybe it is. You know, when I look at somebody who's really strong and really built up and I don't sit there and go, oh my God, must be nice, or oh God, that's too much. I look and go, oh my God, the effort they put in to do that is amazing. Okay. And I've never been the person that wants to be the big monster size guy that's, you know, arms are 48 inches around. And I also don't want to be the twiggy little, oh, I can't lift anything. I like my keyboard kind of guy either. Okay, I'm right in between. I like to be strong. I like to be tough. I like to challenge myself. But I also like that leaner, slimmer look. And that's what you go with. But whatever you want, whether you want to be lean and slim. I don't recommend being lazy and slim because you have no muscle, because it's going to pay for that later in life. But my whole point is how can you take today and make it the best day ever? How can you, if you're going to the gym, how can you make it the best workout ever? If you're doing something, you know, fun with your spouse, how can you make it the best day ever? If you're doing something with your kids, how can you make it the best day ever? And you might go, I'm booked solid with work today. How could you make it the best day at work today? How could you make it more fun and make it the best day at work or the best day in business? I mean, we've got a mountain of work today at the office. But guess what? We can walk around and trudge around and go, we're tired and oh my God, we got all this to do. Or we can find ways to make it more fun and make it rock. Which do you want to do? The choice is yours. The task is still at hand. Okay, you can choose not to do the task and just totally fail out. Or you can do the task at hand and have some fun with it or make it productive, make it the best day ever. Because again, I'm going to tell you, you are the youngest today that you will ever be. You can't refute that. That can't be, oh, let's get the fact checkers to see if what coach is saying is true. There is no fact checking that. Today you are the youngest you will ever be again. And let that sink in, okay? It doesn't get easier to maintain energy, greatness, everything else from this point out. As a matter of fact, you got to work a little harder at it. The older, quote unquote, chronological, that's going to be a joke, guys, chronological age, okay, it doesn't necessarily get easier from any point out, whether you're 20, 40, 60, 80, or 100, but I can assure you today is the best youngest you're going to be. Not the best. I mean, you could be going, coach, dude, I'm sick. I've got diabetes. I've got this. I got that. And I'm just, 100 pounds overweight. Okay, well, this might not be your best physical day that you have coming, but it can be your best day ever because it can be the day you made the choice to make the change. Okay. And I got to talk about change real quick with you guys. I'm going to cut you loose pretty early this morning. But change, if you go on YouTube, You go on my channel. You go on any channel. We talk a lot about this change stuff. And, we're always looking to change something, hopefully better something, not just change it, but transform it. But is there a time when you don't want to change something? Sometimes you have that best day ever and you're in that flow and you go, it's working. Okay, when you have that process and that routine and those habits and they're working, you might not want to change some of that. You might always be growing, but you may not change. You want to just change for the sake of change. And that is one of the caveats that happens in this arena of what we teach and do with coaching and everything. Sometimes people change. It's amazing. They set great habits. It's amazing. But then they watch another YouTube video and go, oh, I got to change to keep going. I got to change to be happy. Sometimes you don't have to always be in the transition of change, rather be in the transition of growth. Okay, sometimes people watch a video on a morning routine, and there's a lot of really good videos about that. And they get it down, and my morning routine is working pretty darn well right now. Why would I change that? I do the cold plunge. I eat a nice, clean, keto, healthy breakfast. Everything is really in order. I rebound. It's boom. I feel great. But, sometimes people are like, oh, you got to change all the time to make things work. No, right now, my morning routine is amazing. Now, can I grow it? Sure. I can add a couple more minutes on the rebounder. I can stay in the cold plunge for, 60 more seconds than I do the day before. I could do a couple extra stretches. I could clean up the dietary just a little bit more. But I don't always have to change. You get something like a morning routine going and it's working, and then all of a sudden you go, oh, I got to change it because I saw a video. It says you got to change your morning routine. Maybe your morning routine's rocking it. Maybe that is not what you need to focus on changing. Maybe it's your afternoon routine, your evening wind down routine. And I did not say wine down. I said wind down. Okay. And I'll touch on that real quick. A lot of people are like, I like to have my glass of wine at night. Let me tell you something. Whenever somebody refers to something like my coffee, I love my coffee. Life boost, baby. But when they really talk about, like, I'm not giving up my beer or something, that's an addiction. Or a dear friend of ours, she knows if she's watching this, I'm not giving up my cigarettes. Okay, well, then your health is not going to be optimal. You're never going to feel great. But when you attach my to something, it's either an obsession or an addiction. And the reason I say obsession or addiction is it's not only an addiction, because if you call it an addiction, that has a negative connotation to it. What if somebody says, I've got to get my workout in each day? Well, that certainly isn't harmful, okay? Whereas I'm not giving up my cigarettes or my beer or my whatever. That's a different story. So let's segregate that between addiction and between obsession. When you get obsessed with, I'm not going to miss my Spanish lesson today or my guitar lesson or my intimate time, that's good stuff, okay? But if you are like, oh, I'm not giving up my cigarettes, or I'm not giving up my, eating a big old cake every night after dinner, well, you're going to pay a consequence for that. Whenever it's an addiction, when you own the cigarette, or you own the soda, or you own, all the stuff that's eating you alive and killing you, okay? And that's what it's doing. It's ruining your quality of life. And you might be on, hey, you're kind of a jerk about this. Coach, I like to have a glass of wine once in a while at a social event or something. I don't do it daily or even weekly. And, you're really bashing having a glass of wine. No, that's your choice. And if you want to suck down a bottle of wine a day, that is your choice. But your quality of life is not going to be what it could be. Period. Okay? There's no doubt that if you drink a bottle of wine every night to go to sleep, or if you don't drink at all, that you're going to have the same quality of life, physically, emotionally, or anything else. Not happening, okay? But if you have an occasional glass of wine with dinner or at a social event, unless you have an obvious drinking problem and that'll trigger something, but I highly doubt that's going to ruin your life, okay? I may have a glass of wine at some point. I can't remember the last one I had, but, it's like, do I want it? Not even really. Would I maybe have a glass of nice wine at a wine tasting or something, or taste some? Or yeah, it's not an addiction. It never has been, never will be. It's not an obsession either. I'm not obsessed with, what kind of wine can I have tonight? Because I don't like the way it makes my body feel. Even one glass the next day, I know that I've done something my body does not truly like. Okay? But I'm not here to preach on that this morning, but I am here to let you know that today is your best day ever. It is your youngest day you're ever going to be. What are you going to do with it? And you might go, so if today's my best day ever, that kind of sets me up for tomorrow not to be. No, because tomorrow you decide it's your best day ever and you make it a little bit better than today. Okay, you can't always make a 100-foot jump. You can't make every slam dunk if you're a basketball player, every half-court shot. You're not going to make everything perfect, okay? Imperfect opportunity is where it's at. Imperfect action's what gets you better. Because if you want to be a basketball player, for instance, and you throw the ball and it doesn't even hit the backboard, and you go, I suck, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore because I'm just not a basketball player. Well, it's never going to happen. But if you imperfectly shoot until one time you make a basket, then you go, I knew how I did that. All of a sudden you make more baskets. Then you miss one. You go, oh, well, I told you I'm not a good basketball player. BS. That's a belief system, by the way. It has nothing to do with you not being a good basketball player. The best of the best don't make every shot. But they make the shot. There was a saying, God, and I wish I could remember who quoted this because I'd quote him on it. They said, we guarantee that you miss 100% of every shot that you don't take. I'm not talking about basketball, am I? Interesting. You are guaranteed to miss 100% of the shots you do not take. What a true impact, guys. Absolutely amazing true impact. All right, so digest this. Put it to work for you. Give me a commitment in the chats and tell me, are you going to live your best day ever? Why are we... Digest this. Put it to work for you. Give me... Yeah. See? Listen to that guy. That's funny. I did not know we were going to get studio feedback on that, guys. That's the joys of being live. So talk about live. Visit me at lou.live. We are going to really ramp up all the different shows again. Yes, this spring and early summer, I've kind of really dedicated my focus to Breakthrough with Lou, letting some of the others kind of ruminate a little bit because of time factors and short staffing factors. But we're back. We're back. We're going back full scale. So we got lots of good stuff. There's going to be lots of interactive things coming up. This is going to be an amazing second half of the year. So I encourage you to grab on. We just turned the corner into the second, we're in the second quarter of the year. Second quarter. Yeah, we are. Second half of the year, guys. So let's get moving here. Let's finish this year out 3 times as good as we started it. How's that? You want a 3x a year, 10x a year? You on a journey with me here? We got some cool stuff coming up I'm going to be announcing to you. And I am going to tell you to live with faith, energy, passion, always live your dreams. And what is today? Today is your best day ever. Be blessed, guys. See you on the next roundabout. Have an absolutely amazing, amazing day. And ciao for now.
Ready to take it to the next level? Next level? Tune in to XLR8Life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lou himself. As Coach Lou always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dream.